Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of my new era series for change in the world. Today, the mind map of destruction. Before I get into the topic, I want to make a short review of what I have already been talking about and what feedback I got. So for the recent video, I simply got no feedback, which is a good sign for the people getting tired of seeing things. So I have a rather small circle of viewers at the moment, and I already lost those for feedback. They're still watching, but there's no feedback reaching me. That's not bad for me in any way because I already said in one of the videos I will be going under in the YouTube algorithm, so this is no problem for me personally. I will continue with this series because I think as soon as it catches attention in the world, it will make a big difference. I have been talking about the change or what I'm doing in this series. In the first video, I have been talking about why we need to change and made some small examples. I've been talking with some examples about competition and growth, which are two big factors of the destruction of our Earth. And connected to those two are consumption and egocentrism. Everybody's only seeing his own and everybody's consuming so much because the industry wants them to. And this is one of the biggest parts we need to change. And then in the recent videos, I talked about the destruction of the environment that is caused by the consumption and by the egocentrism and by people not wanting to change something just in front of their houses. And to conclude all this and to slowly get towards the end, I want to talk about the mind map of destruction, which is basically circling around a small group of industries which are mainly responsible for the damage we are doing to the planet. Of course, at the end, every human itself is responsible for the damage we do. Mostly those in the civilized countries. And until now, this was just, let's say, a number of examples, of small examples for what we are doing to the earth and what should change. And now I want to get to the very roots of what is the problem. I don't know if I said this in one of the videos because I was asked when will the change come or when will I talk about the real change. So first of all, I will now talk about the reasons or the people that are the reason we need to change. Since the Industrial Revolution and the rise of capitalism, which has started like when the first chip of gold was found and people thought it was worthy, there's been a society shift. And with every day the humanity got more capitalistic. There were new moralities and new ethics put into our society. We see somebody as valuable as soon as he has gathered wealth in form of money or in form of possessions. So a house, a car, a big amount of money in his pockets. And everybody has become I don't know how to say this. Has become so. I think people got crazy about this. So people got crazy about pursuing as much as somebody else has got, and not thinking about that we don't need certain things. We don't need a pile of money. We don't need the biggest house. I'm very comfortable in this small flat. I just wish I would have a second room where my fridge is very loud, so I would wish I have a separate kitchen, for example. But that's just a small wish. I'm very happy with my car. It's very old, but I just wanted this car. I don't wanted the newest car, or I don't wanted the newest smartphone every year. We don't need this, but not society, but the industry tells us you need this, when in fact we don't. We don't need this. We don't need a light bulb every 3 years. We don't need a car every 5 years. We don't need a new computer every 2 years. There are so many things we don't need, or we wouldn't need, if the industry would be willing, or we would be willing to speak up to industry, speak up to the leaders of the world and say, we don't want this, we want sustainability. And as soon as that happens, as soon as a decisive number of people decides we don't want this, this is the moment when we have reached the change. It is not about the pressure that is on us. Is it about the force we can put against the pressure? And in the meantime, I had some time to reread some statistics and some studies, and now I know it says 1% only of the world possesses as much as the 99% remaining on Earth. So there is 99% on Earth that can do a change. And I guess chances are good that we can make a change. And this 1% on Earth is called the old elites. And for me, the recent events with climate strikes and other strikes for environmental change, for political change, have shown that there is a good basis. I don't know if I already talked about this in the first video, or in the second video. There is a good basis. We are the basis of all life, of all human life. So the Earth is the basis for all life, and we are able to guarantee a sustainable and fair life for all species on Earth. We have the abilities to see what is damaging, and yet we close our eyes from the change we need to do. To come back to the old elites, which are the main factor of destruction on this Earth, and therefore I call this episode the mind map of destruction, because you have to put the industries I will talk about now into the center of destruction, and around these industries there should be people gathering, telling them that they don't want destruction anymore. We all just want to live on a livable Earth, in an Earth where trees are growing, where plants are growing, where the air is breathable and the fields are making grain grow. The old elites are consisting of the oil industry. Next to it, the chemical and pharma groups, the food producers, the agricultural businesses, so the big agricultural groups which are controlling like more than half of the planet's grain production, the cosmetical industry, the marketing industry, and after the mining industries and all the other industries that extract resources from the planet, there is a productional industry which is mostly responsible for the plant obsolescence which I was talking about, because they are the ones that want to sell products every year and want to sell more products every year. And as last factor, the financial businesses, banks, the monetary economy. These are the old elites, which have gathered in a small group that is, I think, leading the world, because they don't want us to change the system the way it works, because it would rip their power, it would rip their wealth. They want to stay they want to stay powerful, they want to stay rich, just so we have to stay poor. We have the power to change this. And globalization, profit pursuit, and the new media are closing the circle of the most relevant pushing forces of global destruction, and also the destruction of the future of our children. Yet I don't have any children, but I want to, because I believe that we as human mankind are able to change the world to a sustainable world in which countless generations, as I said, can live on this planet, and this planet will live up again. Thank you for watching this video. See you at the next episode.